Entertainment superstar Lady Gaga and her mother, Cynthia Germanotta, founded the Born This Way Foundation to support, encourage, and empower students. Next up, Hari Sreenivasan opens the door to a revealing conversation about some of these emotional factors influencing the dropout rates.
Each year, far too many high school students drop out of the education system. Some students are pulled out, some fall out, and some are pushed out, too often by toxic social and school environments. I'm Hari Sreenivasan. Our next guests are Dr. Robin Stern, Associate Director of the Center for Emotional Intelligence at Yale University, and Cynthia Germanotta, who, along with her talented daughter Lady Gaga, founded the Born This Way Foundation to provide support for young people and encourage a kinder, braver world. So thank you both for joining us today to discuss this collaboration on the Emotion Revolution Initiative. So first, Cynthia, I want to ask, as a mom, why is the Born This Way Foundation important to you?
Oh, the Born This Way Foundation is vitally important, not only to myself and my daughter, but to young people all over the world. Growing up, my daughter had a very difficult time. Everything from, she was often humiliated or excluded by her peers, and this led to a lot of self-doubt, eventually anxiety and depression. And over the years, she's talked about this during her concerts, and as a mom, that used to worry me. But what I came to realize is that by sharing her story, she was actually healing. And the young people that were listening were healing because they were realizing that they weren't alone. So Born This Way Foundation was created to help young people, to support their mental wellness, their wellness in general, and to empower them to build kinder and braver communities.
Robin, you're on the forefront of studying social and emotional learning, so SEL. Kind of explain that and what emotional learning is.
The goal of social and emotional learning is to help you deal with your feelings wisely and effectively so that you can feel a sense of well-being in your life. People get anxious.
Right.
And they're not going to stop getting anxious over time. But what will change over time is their ability, if they master the skills of emotional intelligence, to deal in a more effective way with their anxiety, and that makes all the difference.
There's a direct link between learning that skill and performance in school. Right. Penn State just released a study that actually showed that if a kindergartner has better social and emotional skills, that they're more likely to graduate and have a job by the time they're 25 years old.
Robin, what is the idea of the Emotion Revolution Initiative? You have a phrase called the best self. Explain that.
Our high school program, which we're now piloting in several places around the country, really is anchored in asking students to bring their own thinking into what's going to happen for them in high school. So we're asking them to build a vision of where they want to be when they conclude high school, and to develop the goals that they personally want to work towards. And then using the skills of emotional intelligence and using their best self, they can then begin to think about, well, what are they going to do when they're derailed from pursuing their goals? What are they going to do when they're tempted to stay up all night and not study for an exam, but actually their goal is to be an honors student or to be a better student? So learning the skills of emotional intelligence and thinking through when they are going to make those choice points, very connected to your best self. And that's a really important program that we're now bringing to America's high schools.
It's that we haven't thought the paradigm through in saying that emotional intelligence is of equal value.
Schools today, rightfully so, focus on the hard skills like science and technology and math, but they often overlook emotions, which are so vital to the long-term success of an individual and of a young person. And research actually proves that young people who adopt these skills early on, they perform better in school and they actually have fewer issues.
Robin, what do you say to a teacher that wants to be able to figure out how to unlock what's behind the life of a student?
Kids need to be met where they are. So you're paying attention to your student in a classroom and you're noticing things. They notice that they seem disengaged. They're not making eye contact. They're not sitting with anyone at the lunchroom. They're not turning in their homework. And beginning to approach a student and asking the question of, hey, how are you? I'm noticing this and that about you, is a gateway to a further conversation.
And let's say, Cynthia, there's a student watching this conversation who's just on the cusp of turning away from school. What do you say to them?
I say to them, first of all, to be brave and ask yourself why, you're feeling that way, and try to understand, what's bothering you, and don't be afraid to reach out. I mean, there's one person out there that cares, that you should talk to. So, be brave, and there is somebody out there who's willing to talk to you, and there are resources available for young people.
So thank you for joining us, and good luck with the Emotional Revolution initiative.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, and join the revolution.
Yes, join the revolution.
All right. Helping a student better understand how to manage their emotions will create a better student and a better learning environment. In addition, it'll help keep students in school and help them graduate. In some cases, it may also change or even save a student's life. Visit us online and let's